Yeah, welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
Oh, the parlay pounder.
You got it.
And you know what? You could say football is back.
It's back.
We already had the Pro Bowl game in Canton,
the Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game.
Yep.
And now today we are starting with some preseason games here. And guess what?
Full slate.
They're putting out betting lines.
Yeah, so we are back.
So we are
We
back.
are back.
We are talking about these betting lines, and let's go with the Minnesota Vikings heading on out to Seattle to take on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Seahawks, I'm seeing them anywhere from 2.5-point favorites all the way up to a 4-point favorite, depending on where you're looking.
Yeah.
But it's pretty consistent. 30.5 is your over/under. Jabron, there's so many question marks when in these preseason games. Who's playing? Who's not? What's the quarterback?
Yeah.
How many snaps are they going to get? What are your initial thoughts on this? Seattle by 3.5.
Yeah, like you said, Andy, the most important possession in the sport of football is the quarterback.
Yeah.
With the starters likely not playing at all or very minimal in this game, Geno Smith and Kirk Cousins.
Right.
What I'm thinking in this is you got to look at those first backup quarterbacks because they're going to play a lot of this game because these NFL teams are looking at who is going to back up Kirk Cousins and Geno Smith. And that is what the race is for. And these guys, unlike the starters, want the snaps in these games. So your primary backups are Nick Mullins for Minnesota and Drew Lock for Seattle.
Okay.
These are two guys who have had their fair share of NFL experience.
Yep.
Mullins with the 49ers. Drew Lock was a high draft pick for the Denver Broncos, if you remember.
Yep.
Each appearing in 24 games throughout their career. The quarterbacks behind
Mullins did pretty good for the 49ers, but was that more of their defense and once again the running game?
Yeah, it's more of a that's the system in San Francisco. Like we just said in our last segment, they've been to the NFC Championship 3 out of the last 4 years, so it's pretty tough to not be good there. What I really like to see in this game, Andy, is that there is going to be a lot of young playmakers in this. Trying to score a lot of points. Yeah. So my best bet is that over 35 points because I just think they're going to be throwing a lot of young guys, a lot of rookies out there that are going to be able to score points. And with these two guys at the quarterback, the guys that have been in the NFL, know how it goes, know the speed, all that kind of stuff, I think they're going to be a lot of points scored in this game. So that over 35 is my best bet of this game.
Yeah, those veterans are going to carve up these rookies trying to make teams.
No doubt about it.
And on purpose, a lot of the defensive coordinators put them in man-to-man situations.
You have to.
See if you can make it or not.
Can you handle it? Can you handle it?
Yep.
Because it's nothing like teams like the old like Patriots and the old Broncos. Teams that have been dynasties in the last 10 to 15 years. They don't care about these games. They will lose all 4 of them preseason just to get their roster the way that they want to. So the only thing I feel confident in this game is that over at 35, Andy.
Yeah.
If I had to lean away, obviously I think I would lean towards the Seattle Seahawks winning the game. I don't know about that spread, though.
Just kind of placating to the crowd, having fun with it. Yeah, 3.5 and 4 has really started to develop here. Get me away from that.
Yeah, 3.5 is pretty tough. 4 is even harder. The minus 175 money line is maybe where you want to look if you're on the Seahawks. If you're on the Vikings, take the points.
All right, now another game that's going to be on the NFL Network that we're looking at here. The Green Bay Packers heading out to Cincinnati, Ohio. This line opened up at 1.5. Green Bay as your favorite.
Yeah.
Now it's moved all the way up to 4.5, 5, depending. Westgate just came out with 5 as Green Bay your favorites. What is going on here?
Well, a lot of it goes to show you, Andy, which team is built already and what team is trying to get on the right track and trying to build their season in preseason. Now, with the Cincinnati Bengals, with Joe Burrow going down, there's a bigger spotlight on that. Who is the second guy up, all that kind of stuff. But everybody knows that Joey B is the guy in Cincinnati. I think on the other side of the ball, Andy, obviously everybody knows that Jordan Love is next in line to take up the mantle of Rodgers from Favre, from Starr. He's the next guy in the lineage. But I think that, this being a road contest for Green Bay, but this means a lot more for Green Bay than it does Cincinnati.
It does.
So that's the reason you're seeing that line go that way. And I do believe that the Packers probably should have this one just because they're going to be doing a lot more stuff on offense. Cincinnati's got a lot more veteran players that have already solidified themselves in the NFL that aren't going to get those reps. So I like the Green Bay Packers, and I would take that point spread with them as well.
All right. You're going to take those. You're going to eat the points there. You're going to eat the juice, drink the juice. Sure. In Cincinnati, that's a really good point because, I mean, they're coming off AFC Championship appearance
and a Super Bowl
appearance back to back. So yeah, they're pretty well established, and this is just kind of like we were talking about with the Vikings previously. Their main roster is set. They're just going to be throwing some rookies out there, seeing who's going to make that 53-man roster.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that Jordan Love's going to play all this game. Obviously, he shouldn't.
Right.
But I do believe he's going to get a little action in this game. He's got to build that chemistry with these guys on the field, and this is a really good way for him to do that. So I do believe he's going to play for a little bit in this game, and I think a lot of their playmakers are going to be out there as well.
Now that over-under is sitting at 35, much like the first game. It opened up at 32.5, but obviously it's been swelling up, and right now it's at 35.
Yeah, I mean, I would go with the over, Andy.
Same thought.
Just the same thought process for me. It's just, can Cincinnati do their end of it? And I don't know.
Do they want to?
Do they even need to? Yeah. So I'm a little bit more hesitant on this one, but I would still lean on the over.
All righty, well, let's look at another Friday game, another local team. A lot of our listeners pay attention to the Denver Broncos, heading down to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Now, this line opened up once again as a 2.5 point spread, with Denver being the favorite, the road favorite. Now it's at 5.5 across the board, wherever you're looking, Denver being the favorite.
Yeah, Andy, and I believe that's probably correct.
Think Sean Payton's just going to want to pour it on?
I do. I think it's his first time out. And I really just like the Denver quarterback situation a lot better than the Arizona one.
Well,
like we talked about in the earlier segment, Colt McCoy is the Arizona guy right now, followed by David Blau, another San Francisco 49er, if I'm not
I think so.
mistaken. But as for Denver, Jarrett Stidham and Ben DiNucci are both well put together backups that really like to sling the ball and score points. So I am on the over on this one, 37.5. Give me that. I think this is probably the easiest one of the three that I'm calling on the over. This is the one that I really like. I just like those quarterbacks, and they're going to play the whole entire game. Jarrett Stidham, Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, you have a couple guys that you know what they're capable of, what they can do, and a lot of books still have it at 37. They don't even have the hook. It's not 37.5 yet.
Exactly. And in that Cardinals defense, like we said, is projected to be one of the worst in the league. This team is one of the worst in the league. I believe that Denver could pour 35 points on them themselves. So
try and make a statement, and that's kind of been Sean Payton's MO. When there's a spotlight to be had or when people are looking, he kind of shows out, and this is kind of their coming out party. And oh boy, he's been slinging some mud across the media airwaves, and he's going to have to back it up. And here's his first time out Friday night out in the desert.
Yeah, like you said, and like I said, first game there, he made some key moves in free agency. He's going to want to put that out there. This is the first time the Broncos have hit the field. I just really believe that over's going to hit, and they're probably going to cover this spread as well, Andy. I just don't see the Cardinals.
5.5? They're going to cover 5.5 on the road?
I just don't think the Cardinals are going to be able to score. I really don't. So
Colt McCoy, come on.
I really like the Broncos in this one, in the over. So I might even parlay those. The 5.5 spread and the over, I think, are the best two bets. I just don't have any faith in the Cardinals this year, especially now.
Not even in the preseason?
Not even in the and what's worse for the Cardinals, this preseason roster, that's their roster. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray comes back in week 5, then they get that. But right now, this is the Arizona that they have to look forward to.
Well, maybe there's a little bit more sense of urgency with Arizona then. You don't know.
It could be, but no. Give me the Broncos.
Now, you mentioned there parlay. Are you looking at any type of preseason parlay for these Thursday or Friday games?
You know what, Andy? We got 3 more games to run down for the weekend. I'll give you a parlay after that. So I'm going to make the listeners stick around for the next segment to get that.
Well, let's take a quick minute then to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, they got you covered. Visit Stock and Rod, all one word, to get your wild game on. Don't go in there, folks. This is WTL.